Good afternoon, Gossip Gals. How are you this afternoon? My name's Emma Whalley, and this is Anne Millne Riley. We're coming on for an honest chat today. Me and Anne have known each other for quite a while, and we really connect well with each other. Anne is a therapist, also a Gossip Gal VIP, and she does courses online as well. So she's throwing all of her expertise into courses at the moment. I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit in a sec, Anne. But I just want to say, when you come on, just say hi. Let us know that you're watching. I hope this is a good time of day for you to be catching in with us. But if you are watching on the replay, give us a hashtag replay. And let's have a bit of an honest chat, because there's lots of stuff gone on, and I don't know whether you're like me, but I'm flipping up to here with some stuff. So it's gonna all come out now. So everybody's gonna know it. So we might have a little bit of event. So join us. See what happens. So yes, who's joining us? Let us know who's on in the comments. So Anne, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, so I'm Anne Millne Riley. My company is the Self-Development Hub. I'm psychotherapy trained, so I have a psychotherapy background, and I work with people in all different ways to help them overcome barriers, very often confidence barriers. And I've been doing a lot of work on networking to help people to get over their anxiety of networking and to get out there. And on various different public speaking projects to help people to find their voice, really, and to speak online. So, I do a lot of that kind of work. And as we know, we really need to be networking at the moment.
Yeah, and it's interesting what you say, like people find their voice and it's changed. Like our voice has changed. Like we used to go to networking meetings, or if you haven't been to networking meetings before, this might be a whole new ball game for you. But it's online now. So it is a different voice than what we had before. So I know you do a course on helping people how to like their messaging and how to do great networking. But has that changed? Like what feedback are you getting about how it's changed from in person to online now?
I think I think the same thing, it still occurs, and that is that you've got a certain amount of time to speak. And I think if you're not used to networking, that can seem a bit daunting. With Gossip Girls, we get 5 minutes to speak, and that means there's a bit of conversation and interaction, which is brilliant. But some networking events, you've got 30 seconds to a minute to let people see your personality, talk about your business message, and tell them why they should be working with you or buying from you.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot of time.
It's hard that, because I've been to obviously a lot of networking meetings now. I host my own, but I've been to others too. And you can always, I don't want to be funny towards anybody, but you can always kind of pick the people that aren't prepared, and they kind of go back and forth about things. They forget to say the company name, and they don't have a real path of what their message is. And I feel like, oh gosh, just come on. I'm rooting for them. But it's I hate to say it, but it's easy to forget that kind of person that doesn't have a strong message. I don't want to sound horrible or anything like that,
but it's important for people to actually hear you discuss that, and that there's quite a few people that don't have a strong message, and why would they? Because they've never done this before, and that is one of the main focuses for my course. If you've never done it before, you need somebody to show you how, and you also need to know what's important to say. So yes, we've got a short course, and the beauty of it is that at the end you can develop your elevator pitch, you know, your 30-second, minute or 5-minute pitch, and we'll give you feedback on it. And that's really important for somebody to give you feedback. And feedback is just such the best thing that anyone can give you, you know, because it's honest and it's how they see you, you know. So what I'm finding is the people that have done the course really enjoy that element of it, that they can confidently go into a networking meeting and use their elevator pitch, and it's been honed and they've had advice and help to build it.
Because, you know, like when you start your own business, you might be making candles, or you might be selling jewelry, or you might be retrained as an NLP practitioner or something like that. And so you retrain or you learn your trade and you're good at that. And then you realize, I'm actually running a business here. I don't just make candles. I've got to sell them. I've got to market them. I've got to build up relationships. I've got to do my books. I've got to work out my strategy. I've got all these things to do. It's like a lot of hats that we have to wear. And it can be overwhelming. Or it can be something to kind of, I mean, I love learning, so I love getting my teeth into things and like learning new aspects. But I don't like learning the tech. I don't like learning the tech side. I'm very slow with that. But it's like, why, you know, ask for help, you know, get a course that's just going to like lead you to it, because why fumble your way through and kind of, you know, yes, we do learn from mistakes, but if you don't have that feedback, then you don't know the direction of how to hone this message for networking.
I think you could easily attend a networking event or group and think, well, maybe this isn't for me, because you just don't see how it can benefit you. But I mean, you've just mentioned one benefit there, and that is that we can't be good at everything. We kind of have to be. But there are, you know, you and I both train, don't we? We both learn things all the time, because we get to a point in our business where we think, I need to know that. And it's great to go and be able to do a little bit of training and then get to the next stage. But yeah, we all need to do that. I think maybe some people think if they're good at what they do, they don't really need all those things. But you've got a lot of hats to wear. And the beauty of being in a network like this is that if you don't know how to do something, there is someone else who does. Oh, hello. Hello.
Okay then, darling, close the door. Okay, thanks, Jacob.
And that highlights everything we're having to do at the moment, doesn't it? It tells. So not only have we got all these hats, one of them's the mum hat for a lot of people.
Gosh, he's off school at the moment, and it's just it's driving me insane. Like, literally, he's been off since Friday, and like I'm finding it really hard. I literally am hanging on the edge at the minute, and like I hope somebody can relate to this, because it is really hard. But I'm still showing up for my business. I could easily still be in my pajamas right now. You don't know what's on my bottoms, but no, I am fully dressed. But yeah, I could easily not show up. But I just kind of need to be visible, and I need my business to work. I didn't go into business to be like, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow, or, you know, I'll do it when COVID's over. Like, it's a really backwards way of thinking in my mind. There might be some people that are doing that. But when push comes to shove kind of thing, you will be, if you're visible and like you're going to networking, you're doing your marketing, you're building up relationships, you're developing yourself, you're doing courses and things like this and putting them into action, you'll be remembered. You know, it's like a book. If you we're reading a book and then you read it like consistency and you're seeing it, but if you like shut it for 2 years, it's like, what was that plot line again? Who was that character? It's like, you're not going to be remembered.
I think a lot of people are doing that, and you know, I think the thing is, just because we're all experiencing this COVID situation, it doesn't mean that we're not all struggling, you know. And I think a lot of people, you know, they're either opting out or they're thinking, you know, moving on, let's forget it's even happening. And I think we're all in the same boat, aren't we? We've all got our own family pressures and things that are going on. But for me, you know, I want to keep my business going. I want my business to thrive. And I know that disappearing and not being around is not the way to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, hooray for both of us for turning up today.
Yeah, well done. High five. Is it that way? Oh,
no, that way.
Whichever way it is. But what we were saying is, when you do go to networking as well, there's lots of different people that do different things, and I found it's been really good because I can kind of pick people's brains. I can go on that person's course. I can get that person to do this job for me, and it's like creating a network of kind of colleagues that you can build within your team. Like you might meet a VA when you're networking. You might do, you know, a course on how to do this, and how much I've developed and connected with new people because of all of this. It's really helped me pull through to the next level for my business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those people that hear, you know, that are you know, still interested in businesses and really want them to work, you know, they're showing up and they're working with each other. And that's the thing. If you don't know how to do something, someone in the network does. You know, that's the point. Ask for help. And it may be that, you know, you can do a bit of work with them, or they might just give you some advice and point you in the right direction. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, because I know there's loads of people in my audience in the network that do businesses, but they don't come to the networking meetings, and I often wonder why they don't come, because it's cost effective and it's really friendly, but you don't know that until you go. So they might need like your course to kind of put them on the stepping stone so they can actually formulate their plan, prepare, know what they're going to say, and then, you know, they know you at the networking meeting as well. So it's kind of like you're holding their hand at the networking meeting, because at least they know somebody there as well, which is what I love about your course. But also, you know, I just wonder what's stopping people, because we have a massive amount of people that do come, but, you know, posting on groups has its benefits, but it's not. You're not going to build a relationship through a post. You just literally can't. You can't have that back and forth conversation. You can't see the mannerisms. You can't see like the tone of voice. You can't see how you could see yourself working with each other. But with networking, you really can connect and observe that person and say, that person's for me. I really like them. I really feel working with them.
Yeah. And I've done that. I've definitely worked with people because I've met them and they've only spoken for 5 minutes, but I thought that person has got something I need. And I've made contact. And maybe that's what we need to ask, you know, in this video today. You know, tell us why, if you're somebody that's in business following this group and you've not actually tried networking, tell us why, because we'd love to know and we'd love to help.
There's a lady that has just commented actually saying, I really want to come, but I have no confidence whatsoever. There have been many times when I've almost booked on and then backed out. So
I think that's really common. So you know, get in touch with me. You know, our course is just £29.99. You know, it'll give you everything you need to get started. And normally you would attend an event that I'm there too, so that there's a bit of support and holding there if you need it, you know. And what people don't know about you, Emma, until they attend your networking meetings, is that you do that. You know, if somebody doesn't speak enough, you ask them questions. You know, if you know something about their business that they've not met, that they've forgotten to mention, that's important, you highlight that. You know, you help people through the process.
Everybody comes, I know what they do because it says it on the form anyway. So I do kind of check out people sometimes and like see what they do. A bit nosy like that. But I feel like a little bit of like an interviewer throughout the networking meeting as well, because some people have it all together and some people don't, and that's fine. We're all human. This is what self-development is all about. But I will ask questions and I will say, tell us about this. Oh, you forgot to mention this. What's your business name again? So yeah, I really want people to win. And so it's important for me that, you know, people aren't just kind of numbers. Oh, thanks for your kisses.
Tell that guy how to make orange juice.
Oh, you want to know how to make an orange juice?
Yeah, I want him to know how to make one.
I'm sure she does know how to make one. Okay, do you want to do it now?
Yeah, so you get a cup, you pour it with orange juice, and you pour it with water, and then you put the lid on.
Okay, thank you, Jacob.
And I'm trying to make the same bed as Tuesday.
Okay, wait, try and make it as Tuesday. Good.
Yeah.
Right, Jacob, just leave us because we're only going to be 5 more minutes, okay?
I'm trying to make the same.
Okay, good. You try and make it the same. Has anybody else got a child off ill at the moment? And you're like, oh my gosh. But you've just got to juggle things, haven't you?
Well, as I say, yeah, we're all in the same boat, aren't we? I mean, my son's 24 and he's asking me questions all the time because he's building his own business.
Yeah. Oh, never stops.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, they're really like friendly meetings where you might not have confidence, and just sitting there and thinking I can't go because I don't have confidence isn't going to make the confidence come. No. You know, nothing is going to make the confidence come unless you do some research about it, maybe do Anne's course about it, and come. You know, and there's nothing else that is a good confidence builder apart from learning and doing the action.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and I think we're unique, aren't we, in that respect, that people can come and get that training from me.
Yeah.
But because we're working together, they've got that support and they can make a start. Gossip Girls, and I don't, you know, they're not going to want to go anywhere else once they've started, because they, you know, as we often talk about, we get 5 minutes to talk. That might scare some people, but once you realize what you need to share about your business, you're really glad you've got that time.
Yeah, and half of it is sharing your story as well. And I think that's what your course is called, how to share your story and enjoy networking. And that's what it's all about. And like, we've all gone into business. Every woman that I've met has gone into business because they've found a gap in the market, that they were looking for something and they couldn't find it, or they have left a job that they hated and they want to do something for themselves and they have a passionate for their business. And those stories are so inspirational. Yeah. Like, even there's a lot of people that have been made redundant and then they've started their own business, and that is very powerful. So it's definitely such an uplifting evening or time at the networking. Alison has just said Jacob is so cute. And she's also said, I miss face-to-face networking meetings, but I'm doing them online. Just not the same, but think they are here to stay for a while. Gossip Girls networking meetings are fab. Yeah. And they are here to stay for a while. You know, I don't think anybody with like a conscience could organize a networking meeting with you know, obviously we can't do more than 6 anyway indoors. We can't do 6 at all indoors. We can't. So bite the bullet and do it. You know, it's just holding your business back. And yes, you're in business to make money, but you're also in business to help people. And the more time you don't put yourself out there, it's more time not helping people and more audience that you're not reaching. And you know, when you don't put the effort and the building blocks in, then it can be maintained for so long until it kind of fades down and filters away.
I wonder
for me, when I've not like been pedaling forward, and you pedal backwards.
You do. And I wonder, because there are going to be a lot of redundancies and there are going to be a lot of new businesses. And I feel, that is going to happen. And I just think, if you've got a small business that's just ticking along at the moment and needs that extra impetus, do it now. Don't wait till there's a load of extra competition. You want to be ahead of the game, when all that happens. And it will gradually happen, I think.
Because relationships are built over time, aren't they? So you might come to one networking meeting and you might have started a relationship, and then you come to a next one, and then you meet some new people, but you meet some old people too, and then that blossoms a little bit more, and so on, and it builds up. So the sooner you start building that relationship, the better. Because there's lots of people that do what we all do. There's nobody who's unique in their business. There's hundreds, thousands, and millions of people doing exactly the same, but there's nobody like you. So it's important to be out there and let people see you, like the real you. And there's something about speaking as well, isn't there? And like hearing that person's voice, more than reading about them.
I think it's a distinct advantage, isn't it? Because as we just said earlier, I've seen people networking and thought, I really like the look of this person and I want to speak to them. You get a sense of who they are and whether they've got the right personality for you. You can't do that through
you were at the meeting yesterday, weren't you? And like some of the stories that came up during the networking just really makes you kind of like, oh my gosh, if I need that service, I'm going to go to them. No doubt about it, because you feel like you know them. But if you're not there, you're not there. How can you build up that relationship?
And I think if you've got a very professional business with a professional facade and image, how do you get your personality out? You've got to look professional because you've got a professional company, but how do you show that you're a human being and you're amiable and people can talk to you? You can't do it through posts and things like that.
Yeah, that's it. So talking about messaging for people before they go networking, because your course has quite a few modules taking them through that, and then they write the elevator pitch as well. Tell us a bit about that.
So we look at fear of networking, which is a bigger problem than you think. We look at how to overcome those confidence issues, and it also starts really with building a really great pitch. So you need to think about how you come across, getting your personality out there, making sure that people understand why they should come to you rather than a similar company like you, and what you offer that's different, and really tweaking what you have to say, and also thinking about how much time you've got to say it in, because there's nothing worse than being cut off halfway through your pitch. So being able to do that and make sure that the message is out there, in terms of what you want to say. And as I say, we have this component where they can record it and we will give feedback so that they can tweak it. And those people that have done that have really benefited. Some people have done the course and not not taking advantage of that, and they're missing a trick because they're getting somebody who's used to networking, helping them to tweak it.
I was going to say, actually, Anne, how long have you been networking, and what is your variety of experience?
Well, actually, I've been networking for absolutely years, but as a small business, I don't know, about 3 years maybe. But I've networked in other I've worked for organizations. And so I've represented councils or organizations at networking events, which is slightly different, really. So it is quite different coming from a corporate world and trying to just be you.
I think there's quite a lot of advantage for having those different things, because I used to work in recruitment, and I used to do the networking for them, and I used to work as a marketing manager, and I did the networking for them as well, in different companies. And like, you're not yourself, you are representing that company. So I wonder if this is a bit of a disjoint thing, where loads of people that we know now in our networking, Gossip Gals, they have their own business. They're representing them. They're representing absolutely themselves and their own passion and their own business. So is there something in that where it's like, oh, I can't big myself up. I can't, like...
Yes, I totally agree, because when you've got the weight of a big organization behind you, then you say, oh, I'm Anne Millne Riley, and I one of the places I used to work for was the Lancashire Evening Post when it was a big company, and to say I'm Anne from the LEP, people would think, oh, the LEP, and you felt there was a sense of security.
Not focusing on Anne, they're focusing on
LEP, and you could kind of hide behind that. But obviously, when it's your own business, it's all about you, isn't it? And I think you can sell your business without feeling awkward and embarrassed about it. You can share your story.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said before, like you're there for your business and for your clients and customers. You're not there for you. And I think doing your course kind of helps people through that, for the fear, so that they're not they realize to kind of take the ego out of it a little bit, because it's not about you, it's about your message and who you're helping.
You take your feelings, really. You just got to take your feelings and put them to one side, really, and think about what people are getting from you and what they're seeing.
Very interesting to touch on that, isn't it? Okay, so we've had a really good chat. You've seen a little bit into my world with my little boy being off school. He's got a cough at the moment, and it's a cold, but it's a cough, and I don't want I know it's like a phlegmy cough, but it's like, because of COVID, it's confusing, isn't it? So I'm just keeping him off. But it's like, oh gosh, who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, the only thing stable is, to keep going and do what you can when you can. And there's lots of opportunities to do that. And, people are rooting for you, and they want you to do well, but you can't be helped if you're not kind of stepping out there and being visible and putting yourself out there. Don't give up, people. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Okay. Is there anything more that you want to say today, Anne?
Well, I'll put the details of my course in the chat.
Absolutely.
If anybody wants to get in touch with me or just ask some questions, please do.
So you've got the self-development hub, which is your page and your group as well, and then obviously Anne Millne Riley as your profile too. The next networking meeting that I'm hosting is the South Lancashire and Central Lancashire one, which is on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. So join us on that. The spaces, so come and join us on that. And the course, you could probably whip through it by that time.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Anne is going to be on that meeting as well, aren't you? So that's really good. Okay, so if anybody else has got any questions, let us know. Put it in the comments, and we'll put the links above and below, and you can always chat to us anytime. Okay, I've really enjoyed it today.
Yeah, me too.
Got quite passionate there. Right, thanks everybody. Speak to you later. Bye.
Bye.